Morning. Hello everybody. Cleared for takeoff. Rob, we are cleared for takeoff and we have taken off. Gonna crash and burn on takeoff. That's what's gonna happen. That's gonna be hot. Oh, yeah, that's hot. Cocked and loaded. Plan time minus 10 minutes. Ish, yeah. I've been starting around 6:15. Excuse me. Hi everyone. It is dark. It's always dark here when I stream. And cold. It's really nice that everyone's been posting how warm it is over the other side of the world. But it's quite cold here. It was 1 degree. When I woke up this morning. It's about 5 now, I think. Yeah, only cold drinks there. Thanks, Felix. Hot drinks here. It's too hot. Okay, let's do a quick roll call. I don't know why I do a roll call. We're not a school. Anyway, Paul, good morning. Hello, James, Michael, Charles, Rob. This is like 3 weeks in a row, Rob. What's going on? Have your evening adventures changed, have they? Hey, Jerry. G'day, Ash. Yuri's here. Hello. Hi, Felix. Yeah, 44.8 in the sun in Italy. Thanks. Doesn't make me feel bad at all. Hey, Maxine R&D. Hey, Tabletronics. Andy Calloway. Hello, Ezzy. My eyes are having trouble focusing on the scrolling. Wow. So tired. Can't begin to tell you. Hey, Colin. How you doing, mate? Hello, Tiny LED Matrix, or Alex. If I say Alex, I don't think anyone knows who I'm talking to. Hello, Mr. Dave Darko. Oh, there's no Mr. there, right? It's just Dave Darko. And Andy Mouse, 123 is here. Hello, clickbait for Brits. So, is it cold enough to freeze eggs on the hood of your car? I don't think it's going to freeze eggs. Is that a thing though? Like, do people really freeze eggs on the car? Like, I get the whole cooking eggs thing, but no, it's not that cold. It's hard to get out of bed when it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. 1 o'clock when it's 1 degree. I am not functioning at all anymore. My last week, I am just beyond exhausted now. No, don't say David. Don't. We're talking about a different David. We're talking about a different David. We're not talking about Dave Darko. It's boiling here. Wow. Hello, Mike. So just so we're clear, like, did people not get that the cloudy, stormy stuff was a metaphor for my mental state, and not the weather? Anyway, that picture of of the thumbnail is kind of what my brain looks like right now, or my head. It's what my head looks like right now, inside. Not outside. Outside there's no clouds. No. Hello, Crazy Roops. Good morning. How's everyone doing? So I wasn't going to stream today. I wasn't going to. Most of you might notice that I posted my stream announcement really late. Well, late for me. It was like almost 10 o'clock last night when I posted it. I wasn't going to stream. I am beyond exhausted, and I just could not even think straight last night. Having trouble thinking this morning as well. I'm going to have some trouble staying focused and on topic today. Just letting you know. No, didn't get that. Thought you emphasised with the heat stroke. No, I didn't even know you guys were having a heat wave over there. I'm sorry. I've not even looked at a television or a newspaper or even the internet, the news in ages. Wouldn't even know what's happening outside my office. I don't even know what's happening inside the house most days with my kids right now. I live in the office. I cleaned it though. Hello, Mr. Ludgate. So you're not really going to be able to see. Hang on. Let me turn the other lights on just quickly so you can see. It's. I mean, apart from the couch, I cleaned my office. Okay, look how big it is. Yay. There's nothing on the couch here you can't see. There's nothing on the floor. Even some of my desks are cleaned. So, now, light off. Hello, Stephen Mott. Hey, Maris. Hello to Norway. Hello to all of Norway. I assume you meant all of Norway was saying hello. It's just all the same old chaos in the world out there. Yeah, I know. Nothing, like, there's no good out there. There's no good news, and it's all just the same news. So I don't even, yeah. So I had someone come over yesterday to visit, Chris Moore, who I went on the Shenzhen trip with. He wanted to come over and have a bit of a chat about some stuff he was doing. And my, no joke, my floor, I could not even walk from one end of my office to the other end of the office without standing on something or tripping on something. I had parts all over the floor, boxes all over the floor. It was absolute chaos in here. And I couldn't let him turn up and see my workspace like that. So what day is it today? Wednesday for me. So Monday night, I spent about 2 hours and I tidied up in here. And I felt really good because it's not going to last. But it feels nice when it's kind of tidied up. Yeah, congrats. Where are all those TinyPICO parts that were on the floor? Exactly. Like I've got, well, everything's under, you can't see, there's a desk. See that white bit strip just there? That's a desk. Under the desk is full of stuff. Up on the shelf there's about 300 packed TinyPICOs up there. And then inside the house, there's all of the 2 packs. So I've changed the packaging. I don't even know if I've mentioned that before. So originally I was going to, if you bought a 4-pack, that you get 4 1-packs. But now there's a 1-pack and a 2-pack. So if you bought a 4-pack, you get 2 2-packs. If you bought a 2-pack, you get a 2-pack. Because I'm trying to save on shipping space. So putting 2 into 1 bag is less space, even with 2 in it, than 2 bags. And because there's a lot of stuff. So all the 2-packs are in the house because they're all being packed at the moment. It is crazy town. Fill up those desks with some stuff you forgot to put back in place. No, I'm quite happy to have the desks a little bit emptier. They're still pretty chaotic. Hello, Mr. David Watts. Good morning or good evening to you. Hello, Stephen Birch. DC Ellen, hello. Well, not quite all of Europe is melting. It's been raining in the UK for days. Oh, really? It's weird. In my black hole here I have. Yeah. I don't know what I have. What I can tell you is I'm running out of parts. I've just ran out of CP2104s on a reel yesterday, which kind of sucks. I have lots of loose CP2104s. So does everyone want... Hello, Chris! No, you weren't late. I said hi to you earlier. You must have popped in and back out again. Oh, Michael's melting. Yeah, sleeping in humid weather is disgusting. We leave the air conditioning running all night when it's hot. Anyway, I digress. So, the status. Okay, I'm telling everyone who just joined late, my brain is fried. I cannot focus or concentrate on anything I'm doing right now. So just bear with me. Where did you get the antennas? Is it the same ones that Pico sample board use? I buy them from DigiKey. It's the only place you can buy, well, unless you get the clone ones, which I think only TTGo have. You can't buy them from Ali anywhere that I've seen. They're the Pro-Ant antennas from DigiKey are the distributors. They're the only place you can buy them from. Well, less than a reel anyway. You can buy them other places if you buy them per reel. And I buy them per reel. I'm on my second reel. Yeah, DigiKey is the place to go, and they're not cheap. And so I bought a lot of them, like mini orders. Like when I was, hey Michael, when I was buying like small amounts, like 100 at a time or whatever. And then my last 2 orders were like 1,000 and 1,000 because they're on reels of 1,000. And I was going to say, yeah, every time I buy them, they're like 3 or 4 cents each more expensive. at 1,000 level, so they go exponentially up. They just it must be me. I'm making the cost of all these antennas go up worldwide at the moment, so I apologise for that. So, looks more like night in there than day. Hey Leo, yes it is, well it's, yeah, still pretty dark outside, so I don't like having the lights on in here when I'm streaming. Firstly, it casts shadow on my bench from the lights above, which is really bad, but I don't want to be backlit. Hello CG Aces. So the status, production status. I have now officially, hello Geekoid, running out of parts, perhaps go through the floor swiping particles. Click. Yeah, well, so I've got a lot of loose parts, that's the problem. So like I went through a lot of stuff off the reel loose when every time I need to set up or change things or tweak things, like every time I need to recalibrate a new board from JLC PCB, which happens to be often at the moment, like happened again yesterday, I need to rerun a board. Hang on, this is kind of falling apart. I've tuned it a little bit now. I'll just show you if this works. So here is a board that has, oh, I'm going to hold it, that has parts just here and here with double-sided tape, right? So what I do now is I've got my calibration system working where I just need to, when I calibrate, I just build the first and the last board now on double-sided tape. Because technically, if my X is right here, then my X should be right all the way here. And if it's correct here, it should be right all the way here and in between, right? And the same with the Y. But I go through quite a lot of parts doing this. Like, I had to do this 4 times to calibrate the board. So that's 4 lots of all parts. So what happens, I do this, and then with tweezers, I pick off every part, put them in a parts bin. So this is my second parts bin collection. Right, so you see there's a lot of, like, when I say wasted, like they're all usable, they're all good parts. But they're all parts that are not on the reel anymore, so they can't be put on from the pick and place. I've got another container that's twice as much as this, plus all of the false pickups. So like especially with the big parts. So like when there's a false feed and it stops and I have to restart it again, or something, I lose that part. Or sometimes it tries 3 times. So if it can't pick up a part, it tries it, it then feeds it, tries it again, feeds it, tries it again. So if it and then it stops and it beeps and I have to fix it, right? So when that happens, that's 3 times. So I lose 3 parts. And when I say lose them, they're off the reel. I have to put them in the container. Okay, if we have a discussion about ESD, anyone that talks about ESD, Electron Ash, I'm banning you. I'm timing you out. Hello, James. This is not an ESD issue. We're not talking about it. Hello, Graham. It's dark and cold this time in the morning. Yes, it is. Hello, the embedded hobbyist. Hello, Jet Gyrotech. Not really late. No, I'm starting earlier. Like I start at 1:15-ish, just rambling. Sorry. I'm not quite prepared to actually change the start date of the start time of the stream. God, can't talk. Anyway, so I got a lot of loose parts. So the problem is these now have to be hand placed. So I've run out of CP2104s. There's about 20 in here. And I've got lots of other loose ones, but I've run out on the reel, which means for my last set of boards that I build, which I'll get to the tally in a minute, I have to not place the CP2104s and I have to hand place them. I can replace the reel, but it's going to take like 4 days to get a reel here, and a reel of CP2104s. Who wants to guess how much a reel of CP2104s is? We're doing a guess. We're doing a competition. ESD's the regional fake news. It's not fake. It just doesn't apply. I'm an ESD-free zone. The only electrostatic discharge that's happening is in my brain. Wow, offer looks great. 8 minutes behind. Hello, Paul. I said hello to you first. You were on the top of the list. You must have disappeared. Oh, why does it say top chat? It should be live chat. I don't think it's going to change, though. No. $3,500 US. Did someone just look it up? Did they? CP2104s. CP2104. 20 cents each. 20 cents each for a CP2104. Where are you living? In the 1700s? Hello, Bruce. If I've missed anyone, did I say hi, James? Hi, James. Someone had a Tupperware box full of dip chips. Made me feel better. Just took a wild guess. Yeah, right. I heard about the fact that there is a new Raspberry Pi out. No, I must have missed that news, Michael. Every single person and their dog got a review in it. Yes. I'm not even impressed by it, but we won't even talk about that. So anyway, I've got... yes. So my tally. You ready? Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Drum roll. Let me change screens first so you can see the seriousness of my face. Drum roll. Here we go. All the shields are done. And I even have some extras. All the play shields. All the shield packs. And I have, in total, less than 80 TinyPICOs still to build. So less than 80! That's like 6 panels. Well, it's 5 panels. 5 panels is 75. I think it's 77 I need to build. 6 panels. I'll have a couple of bad boards. Happens. Hey, Renee. So, yes. Less than 80 TinyPICOs. Anyway, so as you can see, it's a lot of money for a reel of TinyPICOs. And with the Australian dollar the way it is right now, $1,500 US plus shipping is like almost $3,000. About $2,600. So, yes, it is so close. I'm so close. And it's killed me. It's absolutely killed me. It's been way... Hey, Helmet. It's been way too much work for one person. Ridiculous amount of work for one person. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Yes, it's been an absolute slog. So the tally was... I think it's got to be close to 1,200 now. Or 1,180, 1,190, something like that. But I've built a lot more than that, right? I've got a whole... So the problem with... What's the problem, I guess? So there's I think I spoke about this last week. The kind of industry percentage of, yield is about like 95%, which I think I'm sitting around that. So I've got, these are... I've got various boxes of TinyPICOs in different states. Like this is not working, but these are not abandoned. Hang on, let me change camera. It says not working. That's just a generic box. So in here is a whole bunch of... So here's 3 play shields and a whole bunch of TinyPICOs that they don't work. But they're just not worth me trying to fix them right now. Like, it'll take me as much time to do whatever rework I need to do on a panel as it will to fix a few of these. And they've all got various things that are potentially wrong with them. Like some of them, they don't, like 3 volts isn't triggering, and it's probably just either a faulty LDO. I just need to rework the LDO. Some of them will have just a couple of bridges on the QFNs that I can fix, but they're just probably not worth me trying to fix them right now. So I will at some stage, when everything settles down, I'll go through these. And so I do have an abandoned box of boards that I have tried to fix, and they're just like... So I found some boards that have shorts. So clearly the electro test... Can't remember what it's called. Hello, Jay. Well, you don't want these half priced if they don't work, right? Throw a defective one in a special customer order as a prize. I could, or I could salvage them, because there's a lot of money of parts here, right? None of these ones have RAM on them, which is fine. No, I'll get back to trying to fix these, I think. What was I saying? Lost my train of thought. Don't even know how many are in here. Yeah, but I do have some that I've abandoned that are just unrecoverable. That's right. So I found boards that have got shorts on them, like in the PCB. So clearly when they're testing the panels at JLC PCB, they're not testing them thoroughly because... and they're not shorted from the parts. I'm pretty sure they're not shorted from the parts. It wasn't from these ones I found shorts, by the way, in my abandoned ones. Like, I've got one that doesn't even have any parts on it. Hang on, I'll show you. Show if I can find it. sure where. Is it in here? Did I chuck it? I might have chucked it. Maybe I put it in the bin. Oh no, here it is. Like that. Like I pulled everything off. I started pulling everything off the board. That board's shorted. And it's shorted at the PCB level. There's no bridges on anything else that's left on there. I've pulled other parts on. It's just a dead board. Which is frustrating, because, you know, you don't find that out till after you've built it. Anyway. So there's been, you know, a few wasted parts. But that's what happens, about 5%. I think I'm less than 5%. I'm about maybe 4, 3.5 or 4%. Do you have any better option for USB bridge other than CO? What? Sorry, what do you mean, Jay? Oh, the CP204. Better options? What? Well, what do you mean by better options? What's wrong with the CP204? The CP's awesome. I don't like the CH 340s. Like, they're just terrible. I've had no real good luck with those. They're unreliable. Hello, James. The FTDI chips are super expensive, ridiculously expensive. And they have driver options on. They have driver issues on some machines still. I mean, there was some old driver issues with the Scilab stuff, but what's wrong with the Scilabs? It's really good. It's cheaper than the FTDI. Dave Darko's never had a problem with CH340s. No, I've had no problem with the Gs, but they need external crystals and stuff. And they're massive. Like, I need small. Like, how would I fit a CH340 and crystals on here? Not going to happen. FTDI is a brand, yes. FTDI is actually a brand. It just gets used now as a generic term for an adapter, yeah. USB to serial chips, but it's not that they're better, they're just all different. But I don't have an issue with, like, I don't know why you'd want to use anything other than the CP2904. Yeah, the 230X is what I've used in the past. I've got some on the shelf. My first ESP32 board, development board that I made had one of those. They're just really expensive. Who was Scottish? What? You don't recall which pins on the ESP32 should not be driven during reset. You don't want to touch 0 or 2. 0 or 2 are really the only ones you really don't want to touch. 5's a latching pin as well, a binding pin, but I think that's safe at reset. But 0 and 2, you absolutely do not want to touch. And reset. Of course. FRDI, what? So anyway, it's all going good. About to finish. No, not really. I have some news, but I can't share yet. Going to start the stream at the beginning and listen at 1.5 speed till I caught up. Okay, bye, John. Hi, John. Bye, John. Yeah, I have news, but I can't share it yet, so there you go. That's the end of that one. My desk is messy. So, I'm not going to build any TinyPICO stuff today. I'll probably finish the panels off today and tomorrow. Well, then I have no news. Well, that's, I guess, the way it is. But I am going to build some of these today, again. Because why? Because my screens are in and I need to build boards. I have no excuse now. So I'm going to do this while I'm chatting. And I am going to do it. I'm going to do it. Can you whisper the news to me? Psst, psst, psst. No. No, I cannot. Well, I don't know if it's going to be... Yeah, I don't know yet what's happening. Is that the right way around? No, that would be why it doesn't fit. How funny is that? So trying to put a round hole into a square peg into a round hole, whatever, one of those. You know what it is. Can I complain about how hot it is in here? You can. Hello, Steph. You can. I think we've already been doing that. I finished my Rooflow Master 1 out. Yay! I got your email. You got it working. Good news, Felix. Everyone has secret news these days. Yeah, Brian's got secret news too. Brian's not here right now. Is that lined up? That looks pretty good. I'm going to try to do this without even... what am I doing? I'm going to do it. I'm just going to build this while I'm talking. We should all hit to make C unhappy now. Is anyone again that feels annoyed by that? Feel annoyed by what? About the being asked to like, or the fact that I'm not sharing my news? Let's just say that my Tiny Pico building days are not over. And that has nothing to do with the 8. After I burned 3 sandy chips. Why 3? Like, I saw in your email you're having trouble aligning on the mangler. You shouldn't have had trouble aligning it on the mangler. Like it should. I mean, they shouldn't have been getting hot. You should just wiggle your finger like this to get it in line. The mangler will light up and you'll see when it's in line. And then just build it. It's weird. Last time someone was annoyed by me asking if to thumbs up. No. Ooh, I didn't turn my audio off on my other computer. Yeah, you couldn't align the chips. That's weird, though. Some people didn't order enough. Oh, enough TinyPICOs. Yeah, maybe. No, it wasn't that. Anyway. So, obviously, it's not over because I need to... Hang on, I'm just going to put paste on this. Well, I need to build stock for me, right? That 80 that's left, that's just to ship to Crowd Supply, including the pre-orders so far, which aren't many. So that's okay. Whoa, I need somewhere to put this. So I'm just putting paste on my squeegee. And now I need to clean this off. I'm almost out of paste. I spent 600 Australian dollars on paste the other day. Should be arriving hopefully today or tomorrow from DigiKey. I got an assortment of different pastes. I got this one again, which is the thermally stable, which I don't know if I'm overly happy with. And then I've got this in a non-thermally stable, so they're both T4s. And then I bought a T5, which is also not thermally stable. So they're going to be kept in the fridge. And just to try different pastes. What am I missing in the chat? Well, lots of things. Day 11 or 15 of straight work. My mental weather is getting close to yours, my friend. Yes. My mental state is burnt out and destroyed. The FT230X has the ability to invert the TX and RX signals via programming. Does the CPU have that? I have no idea. There's a lot of stuff on the CP2104 that I don't use. Like 90% of the pins I don't use. There are all sorts of things you can do with it. Including using it as a 3.3 volt regulator to power things. Not a lot, you can't power a micro from it, but you can power other stuff from it. Will you talk about the PS RAM thing? Oh, right, yeah, I didn't even talk. Well, that's, okay. I can, but I'm going to do this first because the paste is out. I can talk about it while I'm going. No, actually, I'll quickly show you something and then I will go. I've got to use that paste. I looked at thermally stable options. Expensive. They are expensive, yes. So are the T5s, even more expensive. My jar of T5, 250 grams of T5, was $240. That's why I spent $600 on RAM. Oh, RAM. Jeez. That's why I spent $600 on solder paste. Very expensive. So I've changed the way I'm building my TinyPICOs. No one going to comment on my versioning again. Missed you in the chat, Stephen Ludgate. Yes, every week people's been saying, hey, where's Stephen Ludgate? So I've changed the way I build my TinyPICOs. And I'm going to be changing it again. But anyway, I'm now, even though I said I wasn't going to do it, putting the RAM on first. So I built myself a jig. 240 Aussie dollars, right? That's about 26. That's true. No. Yes, 240 Aussie dollars. The dollar's really bad at the moment. So I built myself a jig and I cut myself a Mylar stencil on my laser cutter. which is terrible to work with, by the way, with Mylar. And I did the trick with putting tape down on it, so when you cut it, so you don't get the bumpies on the top, but it's still not smooth enough. Like I can't paste it like this. I have to paste each one individually. I use this little guy. And so I just, I paste and paste and paste and paste. And I'm using my Loctite high temp paste. And I've got my reflow, my T962A, now working with that hot paste on black boards. I would definitely not do the top board with it. So that there is being reflowed with, let me just get closer, reflowed with high temp paste. Are you going to focus? It doesn't need the high temp paste, not in terms of when I reflow the top, but yeah, I saw you built one out of an aluminium beer can. You should make a video of how you did that. That'd be very interesting. Like, was it etched? Do you have that paste in your calculations? What do you mean, do I have that paste? In my cost calculations? As in how much the boards cost me? How much the TinyPICOs cost? No, if that's what you mean. There's a lot of stuff to do with how I build TinyPICOs that are not costed. So if I did that, I'd be making a loss on every TinyPICO. Right, etched after toner transfer. Cool. I've seen old videos on YouTube of people doing that. That's pretty cool. So yes, the reason I'm using the high temp paste though now is because it's not when I reflow it that I'm worried about the RAM falling off on the bottom, because it doesn't. It's because when I need to rework it, it needs to sit in, well, I do it two ways now. Let me just move this off. That way. So I was using a custom jig I made, like this, where I need a, where's the TinyPICO? Oh, where's the TinyPICO when you need one? Oops, so who wants that one? I just threw it. So it sits in there, right? So the RAM, so there's a groove. Can everyone see the groove for reworking it? But this is terrible because it shifts around. Like you can't keep it still. And I was taping it down, but taping it down is a problem because if I push too much, the tape makes the parts move. And this is why I didn't want to put the RAM on first. So when I rework the top, and there's a lot of reworking to do, there's a chance that you can knock the RAM off, but with the high temp paste on the RAM, less likely that's going to happen. But what I've since then done is this. Oh, I've covered it up. Whoops. I cut myself a hole in my cork. And it sits like that now. And this actually moves around a lot less. Look at all the scorch marks on my thing. So that's how I rework them now. Little hole. So why did I do that? Does anyone want to know why I did it? I'll wait to see if anyone wants to know. Otherwise, I'm just talking to myself. So you do double-sided reflow? Yes, I've always been doing double-sided reflow on the reflow mask on the TinyPICOs, but it's been RAM on last. You would have seen in my last stream, maybe if you're there, that yeah, I'd build each TinyPICO and then I'd put the RAM on individually at the end. I don't know how they do them, whether they're lasered or etched. I'm really not sure. Oh, hey, Brian. This doesn't sound like the Weather Channel. No, it's not the Weather Channel. So you don't smash the paste. So you don't smash the paste on the RAM. The what? Huh? Why reflow messed up the top side contacts? Oh, hey, Pierre. No. So, by putting the RAM on first, I completely skip a whole set of testing. So what I was doing was I'd build the board, the top, and I'd test it and I'd rework it and get it right, and then I'd put RAM on the back, reflow it, and then I'd have to test it again to test the RAM, because the RAM wasn't there to start with to test it. And I had to test it again to make sure nothing shifted on top. But now, I don't need to test the RAM the second time, it all gets tested the first time. So I've saved a testing step. Now today I was going to actually build another test jig. I need a second test jig. Probably even need 3 test jigs, which I might do. I'm going to paste this while we're talking. With just the underside done. Just the RAM. I can't test the board with just the RAM because I can't test the RAM without a microcontroller on there. The pins aren't exposed. No, but there's no need to. I've not had one bit of RAM fail. So I've eliminated one of the tests, which is a massive time sink, right? So think about it. It's like, even though the RAM test is quicker, it's like 37 seconds now. I've got it quicker. By the way, I took a whole bunch of video about all this stuff, and I've not edited it, and I've not released it, because I just haven't had time. I had the choice between making videos or shipping orders, and I thought, maybe you'd all prefer if I ship my orders. Let me just... 1 second. So putting the RAM on first really complicated things. I'm doing a really haphazard pasting, really thick doing this, but that's okay. Oh, on my finger. Ugh. Because I think we're going to be good. Maybe I missed the top. Right, so doing the RAM first really complicated things because I needed to build myself a brand new jig to put the top side stuff on because there's a RAM on the bottom now, so it didn't fit in my jig. Plus I needed to build the RAM one. That's pretty good. And I had to sort out the reflowing of the RAM. These are reflow masters, yes. I'm just going to build some today while we're talking because I really can't afford to not be building right now. So, does anyone want to guess why I need to speed up my production? I mean, apart from the fact that it's stupid wasting time on stuff when I didn't need to, right? That's fine. Why do I need 3 test jigs? Get the process done first, then once you've slept a week at least, edit up what I learned along the way video. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to probably save a lot of that for my AMA. I don't know if I want to make a what I learned along the way video. I don't think I want to rehash it. To be honest with you, I'm not sure. Definitely not yet. Well, clearly, yes, I need to make them faster because it makes no sense. Is just making them? No, she's not. It makes no sense to make them slower than I can. Like, obviously, I want to make them as quickly as possible. I'm thinking you found a reseller. Gonna have to scoot. Oh, bye, Stevie. Catch you later. Thanks for joining for a bit. You hired some help to do all the tests. No, I didn't hire any help. I'd like to hire some help to help me, but I don't know how to do that. I don't know how I'd integrate that into things. Okay, I'm going to start getting stuff out. I've got some stuff already out. I'm not overly prepared, as usual. Need some of those. I need some of those. Definitely need some of those. Need some of those. I'm just going to take bits and pieces out and do them as I'm going. Definitely need some of those. This is SamD21, yes. Paste on those pads, okay. Really can't see in this light. I'm just going to check this board. Yeah, that's good. Excellent. Okay, perfect alignment too. So Oppo to stop supporting MicroPython and his focus. Oh, they did that a long time ago, Chuck. I'm not Chuck. They well, they forked it. I mean, CircuitPython is MicroPython. It's just a fork. But yes, they're focusing just now on MicroPython. I've got a whole lot of loose 10K resistors, so I'm just pulling them out, which I'm going to put on the board. Loose ones in a tub here. I'm not sure why, but can't remember why they're loose. Yes, I need to make a lot more TinyPICOs. I can't say how many yet. I haven't even decided if I'm going to do it yet, because the amount that I need to make makes what I've made so far look like nothing. And I don't think I can do it myself. I don't know if I want to do it myself. So this, I mean, I've had a ball, but this campaign has been the most stressful thing I've ever done. Close to the most stressful thing I've ever done. Going back to Monty Python. So I don't know if I want to do it again. I don't know if I want to spend the next 2 months of my life building TinyPICOs and nothing else, because I'll have time for nothing else. Like, I need to build stock for me, for Tindy. I need to build shields for Tindy. I've got more shields I want to make, like new designs that I haven't even started yet. I've got that IO expander shield I want to redo and revisit. I've got that OLED shield I've got some parts here for. I want to see if I can refine that. Like, I don't know if I want to spend the next 2 months of my life making TinyPICOs. Definitely do it in a slower pace. Well, I can't do it in a slower pace, that's the problem. And I can't do them overseas. So, I mean, China's still not an option for me, even for a large quantity, because I have the same type of problems that I've got, plus lead time. And it's risky going to China. Like, I don't have time to trial a PCBA place in China now to see if I'm going to get the results I need. Made in China for high production. No, I can't do that. That's a problem. So if I went to Electro tomorrow and said, hey, I want to build 100 boards to see what the quality's like, to see if I can do a large production, I still have to wait 5 to 6 weeks to get the 100 boards. So I don't have, or even 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks to get the 100 boards. I don't have 3 to 4 weeks to find out if Electro can make my boards, and then spend another 4 to 5 weeks waiting for the boards. So, I mean, everything's time critical now. Got to get going while the going is good. So I'm trying not to miss any of the chat. So it's not a bigger seller. So Crowd Supply wants stock. Right? They want stock for their own website, because once the campaign finishes, they stock them and they sell them. But one of the reasons I went with Crowd Supply and didn't do a Kickstarter or something is part of what they can do is, if the product is good and it sells well, then they will get it into retailers. And so they want to get it into retailers. And what retailers are they? I don't know. Could it be SparkFun and Adafruit? Maybe. Could it be... who knows where? Could you be able to walk into a electronic shop in Europe and see a TinyPICO hanging on the wall in a bag? Possibly. I mean, how cool would that be? You look at something like the Tiny FPGA, that's available in lots of places, retail. Get them double quick if they... It'd be a pity to have geared up with a pick machine and then not proceed with building lots more TinyPICOs. Yeah, but this pick and place machine's not good enough. To be clear, I got it working, but it's a trial. So as I said, I built 1,300 TinyPICOs so far, and the number that I need to do now makes that number look small. I mean, not order of magnitude smaller. I'm probably going to have to build over the next 6 weeks 3,000 to 4,000 TinyPICOs. I can't do that on that pick and place machine. To be clear, that pick and place machine was bought for my campaign to make sure I ship my campaign on time. But it's not even the pick and place machine. So, okay, so what am I doing? What am I going to do about it? Well, I've redesigned my TinyPICO. Isn't that your goal? Ongoing sales? Absolutely. And my expectation was my ongoing sales would be another 500 or 1,000 boards over the next few months. not 3,000 boards. How much do I have in the pick and place machine? What do you mean? In terms of how much have I invested? So I've just given it all away, I guess. So I need to build 3,000 to 3,500 boards in the next 6 weeks. Right? And that's my challenge. That's the problem. Like, that's a lot of boards to build. It's going to kill me. It's too much for one person. It's too much for one person and that pick and place machine, but it's not even the pick and place machine. I've got that pretty reliable now, fairly reliable. There's a lot more things that go into making, there we go, than building it, right? Could you get for the pick and place? Yeah, I'm not buying a Samsung. I'd consider buying a Neoden 7. But anyway, I don't know. I need to build while I'm talking. I don't want to waste this board. Okay, so I'm just going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm just going to try to build while I'm talking. Hopefully I won't. Don't ask to keep secrets. No, it's not a secret. I haven't finalized it yet with crowd supply because I haven't decided yet what I'm doing because I don't physically know if I'm going to be capable. I don't mentally know. So my yield on the TinyPICOs is terrible. When I say yield, I'm talking about if I build a panel of 15 boards, I need to rework at least 10 to 12 of those 15 boards. And when I say rework, I'm talking about heating it up and anything from nudging a cap that twisted and doing reflow to having to fix the SOT 883s. And the killer for me is the SOT 883s. Those parts are not, my pick and place is not able to do SOT 883. You need to recost for bulk supply, including allowances for your young helper to assist. No, actually, Greg, that's not what I need to do. Consider that if crowd supply are buying for stock and they're buying to resell, they're not paying retail, are they? There's no ability to recost. I need to sell them cheaper. I need to sell them wholesale. I'm going to be selling them for a lot less for that quantity. So I'm going to be making less money on them. And you have to do 3 times as many. There's a possible follow-up order of twice the volume already made. Oh, right, okay. So there's no recosting. So what I'm doing right now is that, yes, I've redesigned my TinyPICO and I've removed the SOT 883 parts from the board because they are my biggest pain point. They are the parts that need to be reworked the most because they are susceptible to every step of the equation, from solder paste application, which I can't get consistent for the SOT 883s, and, oh, whoops, they just went flying on the board, and the QFNs at the same time, right? So, okay, I'm sorry, I'm trying to do this and look at the chat and talk at the same time. So, there are 3 feet on the SOT 883 part. Okay, I'm just going to do this. Hang on. So the board won't go bad. It's fine. I'm going to load something up. TinyPICO. Let's just switch to TinyPICO. Where's my OBS gone? Okay, so if we look at the TinyPICO just quickly. Top. Okay, this is a SOT 883 part. Yeah? That's a 0402 part. Look at the pad of the 0402. Look at these 2 pads on the SOT 883. These two pads are the same size or smaller than 0201 pads. Okay? And they're under the chip. They're not exposed from the side of the chip. So, I need to paste 0201 size pads or smaller and QFNs and get enough paste through the hole of the of the SOT 883s to make them work, but not bridge my QFNs. And that is becoming a real problem on a stencil of a panel. Now, individually, when I was doing them, one at a time, no problem, right? And I built hundreds that way. But getting consistent paste across 15 boards on a panel where I can't open it up, have a look and go, oh, no, that's not right, and put it back down and repaste it. Once I lift the stencil, that's it. I cannot put the stencil back down again. Okay, because if I put the stencil back down again and it's a 1/4 millimeter out as I put it down, I'm going to smear the paste across the board. So getting consistent stenciling for me has been a nightmare this whole campaign. And I have to err on the side of not wrecking the QFNs, but it means that I'm constantly having to refix these SOT 883s. You need a stepped stencil. Hello Michael, I don't know what a stepped stencil is, but what I need to know is remove those parts. Well, yeah, I've taken a week already before. I haven't, I need to get back to them. I haven't made the decision yet, and I need to finish this stuff. But I have redesigned the board, and I've gotten rid of the SOT 883 parts, the two of them, because they're my biggest pain point. And I'm using SOT 723 instead, which are a little bit bigger, but they're external pins. They're visible. So now, when reworking these, what I need to do is, most of the time, is I just need to heat it up, pull the part off, hot air the paste, the solder, and put the part back on. That's it. But I need to do that for at least 10 to 12 boards on every panel. And that's a major time sink, right? It's demoralizing. Like, it just is. Like, think about it. If I'm going to do 3,500 boards, so 3,500 boards divided by 15 on a panel is 233 panels. I don't want to do that for 33 panels. I had 5 weeks to do 1,000 or 1,200, but I also had to build 1,000 shields, right? So, and I was doing it all the old way. I've sped myself up already. So I've been doing the new RAM way for the last 4 days, probably for the last 20 panels. I've been doing the new RAM way. The LDOs, well, they're not LDOs. And then I've got the same issue with the LDO. And a lot of this problem is the solder mask on the panels from JLC PCB are just pretty bad. Like my last set of panels, there's no solder mask separating any of the LDO or any of the SOT 883s or the QFNs. It's a really small chip. Like, it's smaller than 0402. And the pads are tiny. Look at them. The pads are 1/3 of the size of the 0402 pads. It was a bad design choice for manufacturing. Simple as that. Now, if it was being done on a really high-end machine with an automated stenciling system, no problem. But I'm not an automated stenciling system. I'm a human being that tries my best to get consistency, but I can't get it perfect every time. And then the pick and place machine just can't do this. Like, it's just not good enough to do this. So, do those LDO just put a SOT 883 component next to an 805? Yeah, they're crazy small, but it's not even the size of the part. It's the fact that the pads are small and they're concealed. I can't see what's underneath them unless I pull them up. I can't tell if they're pasted properly or not just by looking on an angle because I can't see, right? It's not even like a QFN where some of the paste is on the side and you can tell if there's not enough paste on the side of the QFN, the chances are the pad isn't good enough. You can't. It's completely concealed. So it was a bad choice, but I have no. I'm going to finish them. I'm going to finish all my panels here that got SOT 883, and I've also got reels of them, and they come on reels of 10,000. But I've redesigned it already. I'll show you my redesign. I haven't. So I ordered them yesterday and had to cancel the order because I made a mistake on the stencil, and I haven't reordered them yet. And I will. I'm going to reorder them today. But it's 10 days until I get them, and I need to try them first before I can commit to them. But I've done this. So it's quite different. It only took a bit of, when I say redesigned, it just took a little bit of nudging. I did change quite a few things on the board. Most of it I'll see. All your problem is the stencil. Get a professional one from... Well, no, it's a lot more than just my stencil, Michael. Sorry, that's really oversimplifying it. Right? And it's a stencil, and it's the paste I'm using, it's the time of day, it's the weather, it's the temperature in my office, the ambient temperature to what the paste is going to be like in terms of consistency at the time, and then it's to do with how much paste I'm putting down and my pressure and how even I'm doing it. Okay? It's not the stencil, it's all of those things. So, yeah. Sorry, yeah, it's... Don't mean to be rude, Michael, but it's not just the stencil. It's all of those things. And all of those things are very hard to solve and be consistent on. And the only way to fix that is an electro-polished stencil and a either semi or fully automated stenciling machine to get 100% consistency. And that's going to cost me $7,000 for the machine. It's the vibe. So what I've done is, you can see here, these are the new parts I'm using. Well, I'm not sure what someone in the maker community can help me with. Like, that's the thing. I don't have margins to employ people. You'll never be 3 times faster with those optimizations, and you're redeveloping again. I try to negotiate the numbers. Smaller badges, but 3 in a row. What? I appreciate you being worried. Well, I can be 3 times faster. I'm already a third faster by cutting out a bunch of the testing. And the reworking is a time sink. Like, the reworking is really slow. If I can eliminate half my reworking or more, that's going to be a massive gain. Because what it also means is I can rework it on the panel and not have to do them individually. Often I don't know what the fail point on a board is until I've pulled the board apart, put it in the test jig, because I can't visually see underneath those chips. So these new ones, these SOT 723s, which are still pretty small, but they've got external pins. So I can visually see if they're good or not. Like, I'd say at least 20% of the time, I'm reworking a board because I don't know if it's good or bad. Because visually I can't tell. So it's safer to just do it. Right? I've also changed the footprint on the LDO. I've given less space on the pads, more space for solder masks to come through, because the last stencil they gave me was just terrible. But you're using the same time when you work on the shootouts. That doesn't make you much, but you're producing in the same time. Right, yes. So to get myself to do 3 times as much in the same time is crazy. I know that, but it's also an opportunity I don't particularly want to miss out on going to retail. So anyway, it's a discussion I need to have with Crowd Supply, and it's a discussion I need to have with myself, and I'm going to improve my ability to... So the board's going to be the same. It's going to function exactly the same. It's just got a couple of different parts on it. I'm going to improve my ability to manufacture. And by the way, those SOT 883 parts are going to be a problem for cheap end manufacturing in China as well. So, you know, it's not just a problem for design manufacturing for me. I built a board that was quite hard to design for anyone that isn't a really high-end, expensive manufacturer in China. So anyway, that's what I've done. Oh, that's an interesting... Need to fix this. Just move some of that around. I re-spaced some things to make it easier to work on. Anyway, so the board's done. I can send that off until I set the battery supply when USB power is used. That is correct. And that was a SOT 883 and now it's a 723. And I don't have to be so worried now about my spacing. Like hand placing these two parts together would have been a nightmare, but the pick and place machine's doing it. And because also it's a bigger part, it's easier for the machine vision to detect this part because of the way the feet are, because the feet are exposed from the sides. Anyway, so that's what I've done. I'm going to go back to building this board. So if I can improve my yield... Look, I want to improve it anyway. The fact is, I don't want to even be building stock for myself for Tindy the way I'm doing it right now. It's a nightmare. Like, I don't want to be... Like, I'm determined to finish all the boards I've got here. I don't want to waste them. But whatever happens, I'm going to change the board design. Going forward, if I'm making just stock for me, if I'm making stock for crowd supply or for resellers, I need to make the overall manufacturing of the boards, no matter how many I'm going to make or how quick I do them, I need to make it better. So that's my plan. That's what I'm doing. How slow am I going on this? Pretty bad, huh? Lucky this paste is thermally stable, so it can sit here for a while. And Dave, I appreciate you're not being a downer. Like you're worried. Like I get that. I'm also worried. I'm also like I'm completely run down and burnt out. Like I wasn't going to stream today. I am completely mentally fried. It's been the hardest thing I've ever done, by far. And a lot of that was the shields. I mean, the shields, like those, you know, I never planned on making that many shields. If you remember correctly, I launched with limited of 50 of each, right? 50 play shields and 50 shield packs. And I ended up making 175 shield packs and 125 play shields. Like, none of those boards were designed to be built by hand for that quantity. On the USB you're using has internal flash. Yep, yes, it has internal flash. I wondered why there was only the PS RAM. Yes, it's a SIP. It's got internal flash. That's not the straightest cap I've ever put on. And there's nothing wrong with iterating on boards. Like, you know, there's no reason why I shouldn't refine it now that I'm manufacturing it. I shouldn't be so attached to my design that I'm not prepared to improve it. I'm improving it for manufacturability. That happens all the time. I definitely need to have a really long conversation with JLC PCB though. Like I'm not, you know, if I'm going to order, you know, 200 panels off them, and you know, and electroplated stencils and stuff, like I need to have a good chat with them first about their reliability and their quality control and what I'm going to accept back from them and not. Because there's no way I'm going to have to deal with the varying sizes and solder mask irregulations that I've got right now. Like I've got some boards from them on this batch right now where there's not even any solder mask around the USB. Hey Adam. Yeah, it's quite common to be changing your boards in production to improve them for manufacturing. It's very common. Like I shouldn't be so attached to my design. You know, and you know, I almost thought about doing more changes and seeing if I can get the RAM on top. Hey Alan, because I can squeeze parts closer together now because I don't have to hand assemble them. But unfortunately, there's not enough room to do that. That's a pipe dream, unfortunately. Trying to build all these hundreds of boards into a deadline. It's It's so stressful. I can't begin to tell you, doing it to a deadline with such high quantities is just so stressful. How are you going to limit the number of shields for retail? I'll just be out of stock. I'm not supplying crowd supply shields. They're just buying TinyPICOs off me. I'll only be selling shields on Tindy, and they'll just be out of stock if I don't want to make any more. So they're not available, or something like that. Or I'll take my time. I'll release a few at a time. But I can't be building any if I'm building 3,000 TinyPICOs. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I've got 8 of these I need. It sounds like a great plan. Sometimes you can only tell what doesn't work when you actually make it. Thanks, Gavin. Yeah, absolutely. Like, again, I learnt stacks from this. I really did. My takeaway from this has been absolutely crazy. And look, I thrive on doing crazy stuff like this, knocking out 1,200 boards and 1,200 TinyPICOs and 1,000 shields in 40 days. Like, that's, I guess, a lot of that's my ADHD. But I thrive on doing stuff like that. Like, I'm the guy that leaves everything to the last minute, like doing the schoolwork at the last minute and stuff, assignments and projects. But now that I've done it, and I know how mentally draining it was, I mean, think about it. I don't want Yuz sitting there having to pack 3,000 TinyPICOs. Like, do you know how long it takes to pack them? You got no idea. It is... Oh, anyway. I keep saying you got no idea. Like, I don't mean to be condescending in any way when I say that, right? It's just... It is so much work. You know how long it takes to clean them in the ultrasonic cleaner? And dry them? No. Hello, Telecrate. No, I'm not talking about a manual stencil printer. A manual stencil printer won't help me. I don't have registration issues. I have application issues. I have consistency of application, and a manual stencil printer will not help me with that. Right? Like, I've stenciled so many panels and so many boards throughout my very short electronics journey. Like, without tooting my own horn, hey Colin, you're still here, you're watching? I'm going to praise myself. I'm a gun at stenciling. Right? But my issue is stenciling 15 boards on a panel and having perfect consistency from every corner to the middle. That's the hard part. It's the application. It's the squeegee. Right? Like you saw, for those that saw me stencil this board, I kept going over it again and again. It's fine. I know what's going to happen with these QFNs if I do that. Right? But there's only 4 boards and I can wipe it off if I need to. I can't do that on my panel of TinyPICOs. Right? And what makes it worse is with RAM on the bottom, it's way harder to clean off the paste on the top if I want to abandon that board, like clean it off and redo it. Because the RAM is on the back, and I can't lie the board flat on the table when I clean it, then it's really easy to bow the board at the V-score when I'm trying to clean it. There are already things. I told you right now, I can get a semi-automatic stenciling machine, so it's manual stencil alignment, manual board in, and then an automated swipe. And it's $4,800 plus shipping, US. So it's going to cost me more than my pick and place machine. But it's the most important step, right? I did one order from JLC multiple boards and was not happy with the overall quality. Gone back to seed. You're right. The problem is, again, it becomes down a cost thing. There are other manufacturers other than JLC PCB, but not that can do my TinyPICOs. I've already tried. I've already asked. If you take my TinyPICO Gerbers and try to upload them into any website other than JLC PCB, they'll all fail their upload tests. They're all completely out of spec. Now, does that mean that those services won't make them? No, but you can't do it through the website. You have to go to them directly and negotiate a price. And the price doubles or triples once they see the specifications of my boards. Again, was that a smart thing to do? Maybe not, but I couldn't build the board this small not using these specifications. Even the auto solder swiper will have issues with humidity and temp. Absolutely. I still have to juggle the exact paste at the exact time with the exact temperature environment and ambient temperature. Like, it's winter in here right now. I'm sitting in here in the mornings building panels, freezing my nuts off because it's like 4 to 5 degrees in my office because I can't put the heater on because it wrecks my paste, right? How do frame paste application work? It's like screen printing, right? It's a machine with a squeegee. You put the paste on, and what you do is you go through a couple of times to get it right, but you set the squeegee speed, angle, and pressure. And just like you do on the pick and place machine, you do multiple runs to get it perfect. You do multiple until you get a perfect swipe. And you take it out, you look, and you go, okay, a tiny bit more pressure, a tiny bit more angle, a tiny bit more this, and then it does it consistently every time, assuming your paste stays good, right? The second your paste goes a tiny bit wetter, too much paste goes through, like too warm, or if the paste is a little bit too cold, so the paste is a little bit thicker, not enough paste goes through, right? Like it's the whole part of this is technical. Like there's no, it's a okay, gotta keep working. Like there's no part about what I'm doing for this manufacturing that's easy. Let me tell you, I'm not gonna tell you it's a breeze. It's not. It's freaking hard and frustrating, And I can't tell you how many times I've had to sacrifice three or four boards on a panel to get 10 or 11 good ones. Like I paste a board and I look and I can tell straight away if there's going to be a problem on a panel. I know that. I know straight away. And the parts are too small. Like I can't go afterwards and syringe. Hang on. Like I can't go and syringe. I know this is the wrong pads now. I can't go with a syringe and add more paste to these pads afterwards. I can't touch them up after I've stenciled. There's no syringe on the market that's small enough that'll push paste out for an 0201 part. You know what I mean? Well, I can't do it. Maybe Greg Devil can. I think I took too many of those out. You know what I mean? So it's, often I'll look at my board and go, look, I can abandon the whole board or I can salvage as much as I can. I've got a panel over there that I'm not even prepared to pull apart. I'll show it to you later. Remind me to show you the panel later. Greg, sorry, I'm not even looking at whether these are the right way around or not. These resistors. Apologies. I've got a panel that I didn't even bother pulling apart because I can see straight away that I didn't put enough paste on. And I can't fix it. Like a built panel. It was borderline. I might be able to salvage 4 or 5 on the board, but I'm not going to. I'm leaving it. I'll leave it till last. Like if I really if I really get bored and I've got time and I've got nothing to do with my life, I'll go and salvage that panel. Amount based on what was that? I wonder what data the Gerber contains for the cream layer. The size, X, Y, position, the center of each pad. No, they're just pads. It's just abstract. It's got no idea of where the center of each thing is. They're just the physical, the cream from the PCB software just leaves blobs just for pads. That's all you get. Nothing to do with the part. Xeon self-manufacturing approach is unfortunately not very scalable. You need to go offshore manufacture to scale up. And move on to other projects. Well, well, okay, so let's be fair. Whoever thought I was going to be making this many TinyPICOs? Put your hand up. I'm not talking about 1200. Okay, I can't see your hands. I know that. Whoever thought, when I started this, that I'd be making 4,000 or 5,000 TinyPICOs? Anyone? Like, when was that ever on the cards? Seriously. Do you think for a second, if I knew I was going to be making that many, I would have, A, bought that pick and place machine, or bought any pick and place machine? Of course I would have manufactured overseas. Absolutely. I honestly thought I'd be doing hundreds, like 300, maybe 400. No, I'm a dreamer, but I'm also a realist. Okay, like I'm a realist. Like, you know, it's an ESP32 board in a market that's swamped with. No, you're right, Gaston. Absolutely, right. Swamped in a marketplace where people can buy $9 boards from China, and they're not comparable boards. I don't care what anyone tells me. Just because two boards have an ESP32 chip on them does not make them the same, right? But still, like, I'm in a marketplace where totally can't compete with China. I'm going to be a smartass and say I called it. I told you it would do well and be a new mini. Thank you, Colin. Yeah, but okay. But what does well mean? CGA says, what did he miss? Does anyone want to fill in CGA says? What's happening? It is stored in like a vector coordinates. Has anyone picked apart the file format? Get a pad coordinate and size. Just thinking out loud. But what do you need? What do you want that data for? Azzy? Each pad is in vector. It's in lines. They're all done scan lines, but it's nothing to do with the part. I don't believe. There's no part information in the Gerber at all. Definitely not for the cream layer. Right, there are no other boards this small. I get that. I mean, there's a lot going for it. But not everyone needs small, right? But I think that... but now there is the opportunity... Well, I can still scale up. There's lots of things I can do to make this better. I could go out tomorrow and spend money and solve all of this. I can buy a semi-automated stenciling system, buy frame stencils, go to my new boards that are going to be better to build anyway, and buy a better pick and place machine. And I could probably churn out 1,000 boards a week, 2,000 boards a week, right? But there's not enough money in it to do that. So that's the thing, right? Oh, I'm really going slow on this, aren't I? Sorry. I thought, yeah, I'd be able to knock out two panels today. But yeah, I'm doing a lot of chatting. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So I need... what's 4 times 3? 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, I wouldn't need... Build a paste dispenser. I can't do paste dispenser for this. Well, I mean, the pads are too small. I mean, good luck going 0402s with the pad dispenser. You can't do pad dispenser on the QFNs on 0.5 pitch. Definitely not on SOT 883. Hey, Greg. Yeah, no, it is a good discussion. Look, I made some bad decisions. Well, I didn't. Okay, wait. So something I need to say. Let me start this conversation again. Wait, I'm just going to go to front face. I need to focus on this just for a second. Right. See, let me say something. So, I honestly thought I was going to do really small numbers. Like, honestly, generally thought 250, 300, maybe over the next year, like over a year after launch, maybe I might get to 1,000 boards over a year. And I was going to hand build them. Everyone knows that, right? I ordered all my parts. Everything was ready to go day one of the campaign. I was already building stock. And I was going to hand build all my stuff. I had everything I needed for all my shields, 50 of each, and all my TinyPICOs to build 300 TinyPICOs, okay? And within 24 hours of the campaign launching, all my plans went to shit, right? Everyone knows that. And from that point until today still, or until yesterday, because yesterday is when I did the redesign, from that point, for the last 44 or 45 days, I have been in complete reactive mode, right? I have not been doing any forward thinking. I have just been in 100 steps back, behind, like in total reaction mode. Okay? So, I had to solve, where am I going to get enough parts? Like, I didn't know how many boards I was going to make. Within the first 24 hours, Was I going to get 1,000? Was I going to get 2,000? I don't know, right? So I had to source thousands of parts, like minimum of 2,000 of everything. I had to find a solution for manufacturing. Like, I bought the cheapest pick and place I could get and worked damn hard to get it reliable enough, right? Like, even till yesterday, like I've been struggling to get this last lot of shields made. It's not shields, panels made, right? Like my paste is almost out, and it's also degraded, right? I've got new paste coming. I thought I'd be able to get like these last 20 panels have been harder to build than the first lot. And as a combination of weather here now and my paste, like I've been totally reactive the whole time. Yesterday I decided I can't do that anymore. Like, I've been trying to work out how I can build stuff. Who's going? See you, Dave. Thanks for joining. So, like, I've been trying over the last week, since I found out what opportunity I've got now with crowd supply, to work out how I could possibly make them. Which is why I've started putting in place things a week ago to improve my manufacturing. I thought I was at the end. I thought once I ship my backers orders, I'd be able to take some time, take a couple of days, a week, and then start rethinking stuff and start building stock for Tindy. And there was no hurry for that, right? Because I can't sell them on Tindy until the orders ship from Crowd Supply. So I had a couple of weeks to get things ready. But then this opportunity's come in, and I've had to rethink everything, and I'm prepared to do that. So I'm going from reactive mode, which is a terrible way to live your life, to what can I plan and change? How can I improve this? Whether I take the deal with Crowd Supply or not, whether I tell them I don't want to make that many, or whether I tell them I'm not prepared to meet the price that they want, or I don't know, you know. I have to improve how I make these. It's too frustrating at this point, the way it is. And I had no choice but to stick at it through the campaign. I could not stop in the middle and go, I need to rethink how I'm making this thing, because I've got a deadline to meet. I'm already past my own internal deadline of when I wanted to ship to Crowd Supply. I wanted to ship to Crowd Supply on Friday, last Friday. I'm not going to get to ship to them until maybe this Friday or next Monday. It's still on time for the campaign. I'm not shipping late, but I wanted to ship a bit early, right? So for those that missed it, the Crowd Supply want to order a very large quantity of TinyPICOs for me, for themselves and for retail, to ship to retailers. Now, that's my dream. That's what I always wanted. Like, how can I not want my TinyPICOs sold? I don't know where. I'm speculating. How could I not want them sold at SparkFun or at Adafruit? Like, that's like a dream come true for me. Like, how can I walk away from that? Like, what's that worth to me? Like, is it worth killing myself for another couple of months? Maybe. Is it ever going to happen again? For me? Probably not. Is this a one-off? I think this is a one-off for me. Am I going to make another product in the future that may take off on Crowd Supply or something similar? Who knows? But how can I walk away from this opportunity? Go under your own price. No, there's a retail price. The price they want for it is based on the price they're being currently sold at retail. Like, sold at on the campaign, which is the price I'm selling them on Tindy. Right? Obviously on Tindy they'll be without shipping, you add shipping on, so they'll visually look a bit cheaper, but they'll be the same price as what they're on Crowd Supply. Just worried that, firstly, you'll burn yourself out. I'm already burnt out. Secondly, that an opportunity to really grow your business. But it's not, by going to China isn't the way for me to grow my business. This is a one-off. I might continue making TinyPICOs for a while, But it's not like, oh, this is just my first project and my second board's going to do the same thing. There is no second board, right? This is a one-off opportunity right now. It's not about growing my business. It's about capitalizing on what I can do with the TinyPICO right now. In 12 months' time, there'll be different chips. There'll be different boards people are playing with, right? This is my time right now. The TinyPICO's now. It's about capitalizing in right now, not worrying about growing my business in a year's time. That's what I believe. Its a pace was a little thinner. You could use an airbrush. I do it all the time with very thick paints. I don't... okay, I'm going to leave that one, Charles. So, probably warm the dispensing needle. Right, but then I get too much paste on the pad, or it doesn't stick to the pad properly. Beware that yep, that's fine. Silly question, can you not tell because you'll supply them, but at a rate you can support? Absolutely. I can negotiate with Crowd Supply. I haven't negotiated yet. But my concern is that the more I start negotiating, the less chance that, like, okay, you got to remember, it's all about component purchase. Okay, so if they say, okay, we're only okay, if you can, I'm just speculating. I have no idea what's going to happen. But let's say if I say to them, it's going to take this much longer for me to ship to you, or the price is this much higher, and they say, okay, well then we're only going to take half as many. I still have to buy parts on reels. I don't have enough. If they say, okay, we're going to take 2,000, well, I need to buy a reel of 2,000 or more. If they say I only take 1,000, I still have to buy 2,000. There is no point me negotiating with them to reduce a number where my cost stays the same. Does that make sense? This is a very fine balancing thing here. Like I need to do quantity. I'm going to buy my Pico D4s in reels of 2,000. I need to buy my CP2100s in reels of 3,000. You know what I mean? Like there's a fine line here I need to work out where it becomes cost effective for me for parts. I don't want to end up with, to make my life easier, end up with $10,000 worth of parts sitting here that I'm not using anymore. Then I've made nothing. How are you going to use extra rigs if it's just still you building? Because I've got stacks of time where I've got 20 boards sitting in front of me on my desk, testing one at a time while I'm testing them, while I'm reworking, right? And so they pile up. So if I could have 2 test jigs or 3 on my bench, I could be testing faster. I also do a final test after they're cleaned in the ultrasonic cleaner. It's not a full test, it just reloads the code up, which means it makes sure that the USB, CP2104 and everything's working. It's very quick, it's a 7-second upload. But I normally clean 100 to 200 boards at a time, so I've got 200 boards sitting there waiting to do that. 7 seconds times 200, one at a time is crazy. If I had 3 test jigs there, I could do it 3 times faster. So a lot of advantages of having extra test jigs. I know you want to finish this yourself now, but you need somebody else. Right, but who's going to help me? And I can't afford someone to help me. If I bring someone in, I've been talking to people. Like, what would that person do? Like, what are they going to, like... You know what I mean? Are they going to just put boards in and out of the reflow oven? Are they going to do the pasting? Are they going to sit and watch the pick and place machine? I need to capitalize on this opportunity. This is a one-off. This is a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity for me. I totally believe it. Look, I've been wrong in everything. I've been wrong on how many reflow masters I'm going to sell. Someone asked me before, I think the wait list is like 17 for reflow masters. I'm going to release... I've got 10 screens here. I've got another 10 screens on the way. I've got two reflow masters built. I'm trying to build some right now, very badly, very slowly. This is, like, I've been wrong with my numbers on everything I've ever done as a maker, but I truly believe this is a one-off opportunity for me to get TinyPICO in retail. I'm not even covering my time on this. I'm making dollars per hour doing this. Like, I don't know. I reckon maybe over the last 40 days, I've been, if I take my time and Yaz's time, and she's put a lot of time in packing, that I reckon we're both... I reckon I've been earning less than $2 an hour. But that's okay. I'm building a business. I'm building a startup. It's not about that for me right now. But I can't afford to employ people. I mean, I wish I could. But I wouldn't even know what to get them to do. I mean, Ben is in Melbourne, and I've been chatting to Ben, but I don't know what I'd get Ben to do. What I don't want to employ someone to do is sit there reworking boards for me, because if we have to rework all the boards, then that's a problem, right? I'm sorry, I missed some chat. Many success stories were originally passed off as a one-hit wonder. Perseverance and hard work and ultimate motives. Right, well, sure, I don't know about a one-hit wonder, but I don't know if this whole overall experience will happen again for me. So I can't be planning how I do it today for the next one. I need to be planning how I do this one. Ask a hard question. Is there a profit to you after you subtract everything? I don't know. I don't know what my profit line is going to be at the end now. I don't know. I'm not going to know for months still how much I'm roughly made on the campaign. You know, it's really too hard to say right now. Could you get a discount on parts? I do get a discount on parts from Mouser, yes. But some of the parts are still cheaper to get elsewhere. The parts that Mouser have exclusively, I get some really good pricing on. The issue for me is I have to buy in quantity, right? Adafruit Sparkfun build their own boards by themselves, but they also sell other people's boards if there's enough profit in them. They don't build other people's boards, but they do sell other people's boards. Look at Adafruit's website. There's stacks of third-party boards they sell on there. Views your live stream videos and so they know your considerations. No, I'm quite happy to have this exact conversation with Crowd Supply. They know I'm hand manufacturing. So I gotta get the rest of these on. Yeah. I will finish this. Even if I don't finish this on the stream today, I will finish this. I kind of have to now, right? Look, I wasn't even ready to talk about this yet, I guess, but it's going to change a lot of things for me. Like, I've not released a video in ages, right? And I'm probably not going to release a video for a while if this goes ahead. God, this flipped around. Sorry, I'm trying to flip these parts over. Little transistors are very hard to get them upright. Sorry, I'm missing some chat. I know, 1 second. So you mean overlapping tests? For the test jigs, overlapping tests? No, just doing the same tests. What do you mean? Just being able to do 3 boards at a time instead of 1 board at a time for my testing. Is that what you mean, Paul? Like right now I have to plug one individual TinyPICO into the test jig, like one at a time. And I can only test 1 board at a time. So I often have lots of boards just sitting here waiting to be tested. Right? And I have to sit here and wait each time. Like if I can... I'm going to build at least a second test jig. I've got enough parts here for 1 more test jig. So I'll definitely build a second. Other person will do the pasting, building, reflowing. And then what am I doing? 2 people can't be doing the pasting, building, reflowing. And again, who am I... So no offense, who am I going to employ that's going to do a better pasting job than me? It's going to be the same problem, right? If I can't solve the pasting consistency for me, who am I going to employ that can do a better job? Right? And the building, well, the pick and place does the building, but reworking, like who's going to do the... Like, so I'm going to employ someone to just put boards in the oven? I can do that. That doesn't take any of my time. This sounds like a really terrifying complex. Wouldn't have the guts to scale up for that. Props to you, mate. Thanks, David. David, you can make me tea anytime. But look, I'm a risk taker. I've always been a risk taker my whole life. That's I thrive on taking risks, as crazy as that sounds. 10 UF. Wait, I also need 0.1s. Wow, this is just the worst build video ever. Repeating myself saying no matter what, you're doing great and have been for the whole project. Unexpected popularity is something to do well with. Thank you, Gaston. I appreciate it. Ooh, Brian, what's that? Brian saying, ew. Is it about the milk in the tea? Yeah, I have milk in my tea. It's fair to say that many successful businesses started with hard work and even losses in the first years in order to build foundations. Yes, they do, but I don't know what's coming for me afterwards. In terms you're looking for is paralysing the test. Yes, I want to paralyse the tests. That's what I want to do. Yes. And I don't always need to do that, but there have been plenty of times I've been waiting for the test jig, or there's a board sitting in the test jig that's finished, and I'm in the middle of doing something, and I can't take it out and swap it because my hands are full, because I need two hands to do it, right? So, you know, there's times where it'd just be easier if there's going to be a board waiting, I'd rather have 2 or 3 boards waiting, because that means I've done 3 times as much in that period of time. And you think it's crazy that I'm doing reflow masters right now, when I've still got TinyPICOs to make, like a lot of them. But I need a break from TinyPICOs right now. I'll get back to it after the stream. But this to me is just being able to place parts just with my glasses. I'm not even using my close glasses today. I'm just using my normal glasses. Being able to build and place parts with my glasses. Oh, this is relaxing for me. Don't worry about it, James, about the likes. People, they don't like. That's okay. Now, I'll tell you something else that I need to change. My microscope. So, not that I need to change. Well, firstly, I think the LED ring on it is failing, which really sucks. But I think I'm going to buy myself one of those Sony autofocusing cameras and use a screen and teach myself how to use that for my if I manufacture the boards, and let me explain why. So, like, my microscope sits here, right? When I'm reworking below, and I've got my test jig just over here, and I've got stuff all around me that I'm working on. I've got good boards here, boards to test here. I've got stuff in the oven, whatever. And what I'm finding is, because the amount of hours I'm sitting at my desk doing this is massive. Like, we're talking, 8 hours a day, not solid blocks, but blocks of 3 or 4 hours at a time. 8 hours a day, I'm at this desk, pasting or reworking or whatever I'm doing, and I'm finding the going into the microscope, out, focusing, changing glasses, in and out, everything else is killing my back and killing my neck. It's not a height of the microscope thing. It's or anything else, or my chair or anything specifically. I mean, they could all be factors, but it's the constant. I'm in here, I'm focusing on what I'm doing, and you got to remember, when I'm working on really small parts, we're talking about I need to keep so steady when I'm doing stuff, and I'm working with my left hand with my tweezers, which is, I've taught myself to be really good with my left hand, because I've got my right hand with my hot air while I'm balancing my hands to support myself while I'm looking in a microscope for 5 hours a day is absolutely killing my back and my neck. So I need to improve a lot about how I'm doing things to be able to sustain higher levels of manufacturing. Epic Guy is a good analogy. He's hardly released any videos while developing his Planet X3, but his followers patiently understand why. I don't have RSI yet. My wrists are fine, but my neck... Well, can you get RSI in your neck? I don't know. My neck and my back is getting pretty sore. It's a bit annoying. But again, it's just all money out the door. Like, it's just, Mantis full view, stereoscopic microscope is the way to go. I don't know how much they are. Aren't they like $5,000 or something? I'm probably not going to do that. That Sony one, the one that Dave from EEV blog showed, that autofocusing one, like just a 1080p one, not the 4K one, probably. About $900 delivered. So, it's not terrible, but I've already paid for a microscope. Like, I would, and that's the other problem. If I got someone in to help me, well, I need to set up equipment for them. Like, it's not just getting someone in to help. Then they need access to a microscope or something. They need access to a bench with a soldering and hot air station. They need, I need to expand my tool set. Bother you a bit about 7020. I'm having trouble with STM32 and want to make a few prototypes 7021. Did you use as a HID? I have not used it as a HID, but you can use it as with HID. But I have not done that before. So I don't have any advice for you about that. I apologize. Why did I do that on a 45-degree angle? I don't know. Wow, this is the slowest build ever. It's a bad posture under tension that gave me some worn out spine disc causing nerve right arm. Right, okay. Wow, I don't want to do that. So far, yeah. So far the thing is the fumes, and I need to solve the fumes. Like, I need to completely change where all my reflow ovens are, enclose them in something, and get a full extraction system in here. Like, I need to take that part way more seriously. Like, I've been in complete reactive mode. Like, all I've been doing here is sitting through, hammering, making stuff. I can't do that anymore. Not if I'm going to make more boards. So, yeah, I've got a lot of things to solve. A lot of things to solve. And is it stressing me out? Yeah, a little. Yeah. Like, I thought the first few days of the campaign was some big decisions for me to make, but not now. No, they weren't big decisions. Like, that was just a crazy adventure, right? Jump all in, head first, no worries. But now I need to make a conscious decision about how I want to spend the next 6 to 8 weeks of my life. How to rig with a Fresnel lens in it. For what purpose did you have the Fresnel lens? It's Fresnel, I know, but I call it Fresnel because whatever. Because I'm gutter trash. I do walk around. Like, I walk outside and I try to walk up the road almost every day if I can to get some lunch, although some days I don't. And I find excuses to walk around a little bit, but it's not enough. Confirm that this is the minimum requirement for SAMD21. Can I confirm? What do you mean, minimum requirement? Minimum requirement for SAMD21. New crystal, yes. Yeah, you want a 0.1. No, you need... Oh, hang on. 23 out. No, there's a couple of... You want a... Where's AREF? You need a cap on AREF. You need a 1 microfarad cap on the AREF. And one of these other ones should be a... You need another one. I can't remember what the other 1 microfarad cap is on. AREF and... I'd have to look. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know who made that minimum spec. That might be okay. I don't have 0.1 microfarad caps everywhere like that. Not on every VDD coming in. So, but yeah, I don't see why that won't work. But I think you need something on AREF. You need a cap on AREF. Fresnel as well, until very recently. Yeah, it's Fresnel, but I call it Fresnel. It's not like GIF. Okay, let's keep going. I really want to build at least one board. What am I missing? Right, I need some diodes. Schottky diodes. I need 8. Oh, I missed another cap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No worries, CG Aces. Okay, this is going to be a problem. I can't see the line with this light. Okay, I have to change my lighting. Maybe to see where the line on the sorry about the light right now. Just see the light on, you know, the line that, yeah, can't see it. Might have to change my glasses. Just for a second, sorry. Okay. I'll just line them all up. Now maybe I'll just put them on because they're reversed, so I'll just do them with my glasses now. Wow, some of these parts are not very straight. Sorry folks, won't be long. Can anyone even see what I'm doing? Hope so. Now I want to see, here's the next thing, right? I should be pick and placing these things. Like, how crazy is it that I'm not pick and placing these boards? Well, I can't with my pick and place because I can't pull out the TinyPICO stuff. So my pick and place was bought to solve my campaign. It solved my campaign. Now I need to decide what I'm going to do to solve my future. Do I just buy a second pick and place machine? I don't really have room for a second one. Like, I can buy a second one that's got the 58 feeders. I don't know if there's a resale market. I've asked. If I could find someone that would buy this one, I'll absolutely sell it. And I'll buy something bigger. But what I really want is a pick and place machine that can do a better job. So I know someone that bought the Neoden 7. The Neoden 7 is a 6-head unit that can support 64 feeders. They're external feeders. But the key thing about it is it does flying vision. So flying vision is where the camera for the machine vision is on the head using a mirror. So it's constantly correcting the part with machine vision as it's moving the part around. It doesn't go to a camera, fix it, and then move it, right? Which means it's super accurate. Like, it's visually correcting itself all the time. And the only time it ever needs to go to the up camera is if it's a really big part that doesn't fit in the vision of the machine. Something like if it was a really big QFN, a QFP, like one of those really big STM chips or something, with 120 something pins on them. Maybe the 64s as well. I don't know. I'm just going to switch my glasses back. What did I miss? Did I miss anything? Hello, Ed. How you doing? Oh, hello, Johnny, as well. Can you use the USB clock instead? So I'm not sure what that was reference to. Sorry if I missed anything. Just ping me again with my name. Ask me if I missed anything. Yeah. See, now I switched my glasses, which I have to do quite often when I'm building, and now my eyes are screwed right now. Like it takes, look, it's going to take me like 5-10 minutes for my eyes to readjust. And I get that constant problem all the time going in and out of my microscope and in and out of, yeah. Okay, I need to put some of this stuff away. What a mess. No, I'll do some LEDs first. But I do need to put some of this stuff away. Oh, what are they? What did they fall out of? They're my 1.2s. I should have made a custom board for SamD1. Maybe someone has a spare board. Test some code with it. I've got stacks of SamD boards here. I've got obviously feathers and my own boards. These are green. I'm just going to zoom back out again. I'm just going to move that light. Okay, I need to put LEDs on. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to need to switch my glasses again. So I can... Oh, there's already green ones in there in the bottom. That's a bummer. Can I see them without my other glasses? That's just a question. No. Hello, Ian Scott Johnson. Welcome. Oops, almost stuck it on the red. That would have been a bit silly. So I've got some crazy times ahead. No doubt. I've got some super big decisions to make. And lots of planning to do. And yeah. I just need to pick the right way forward. I need to make sure that I go into this thing being as less reactive as I can be. Less as least reactive. That's as least, whatever the word is. I have to do less reactionary decisions and more thought out decisions. However that's going to work, I don't know yet. You should hire fidget, fumble, and fuss. What was that? LEDs in the right way around, even if you don't do the resistors. Well, the LEDs are kind of important. The resistors, just because of my glasses. Like, I could have done them the right way with my glasses. More proactive, that's the one. Less reactive. But then I couldn't read the chat. That's the problem. What do I need? 2.2K. I really need to put my parts away while I'm working. I really should start doing that, but you know, whatever. Starting the eye muscles where they don't want to be. Dry eyes doesn't help from the heat and lack of blinking. So what were we talking about? Sorry, we're talking about I get the same vision issues and piece last night with an eye infection. Ouch! Okay, I'm lucky that I don't get a lot of eye infections or anything, but yeah, the whole having to refocus the eyes and jump between the microscope and, in my case, 2 different pairs of glasses is really it's a struggle. It's not good for my eyes. There's a lot that I do about this that isn't good for me, right? Like, you'd wonder why I'm doing it. Like, what's the upside? I mean, I'm basically doing slave labor and getting stressed out about it. Like that's, yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? God, I haven't even done the APAs yet. Wow. Okay, I'm going to put some of this stuff away. Because I've got no more room on my desk. 2 nanofarad. 10K. 1 microfarad. Oh, whoops. Wrong spot. Sorry folks, won't be a second. Wow, almost been 2 hours and I haven't got this board built yet. How bad am I? Okay, 330s. The upside is that you'll fill people's project boxes with extra TinyPICOs, and you'll be letting more YouTubers show how you use 240 MHz dual core to flash an LED. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Thanks, Ash. See? So you've really just what's the word? Yeah, I don't even know. Could you upload simple default Arduino keyboard serial examples code to any SAMD20 on board and see if it works no problem? Maybe sometime in the future, CG Aces. I don't know when. I'm sorry. I could do, but definitely not right now. Sorry, mate. I need to get this board finished and in the oven. Okay, there was a 330R. My APAs. I was joking, of course, trying to cheer you up. Oh, that definitely cheered me up. Yeah. So basically, all I'm doing is contributing to landfill. Is that what I'm doing? I hope people do more than just flash an LED with it. I know that people have boxes of microcontrollers. I've got boxes of, well, not boxes, but yeah, like I know that's a thing, and I know not every TinyPICO that goes out there is going to end up being used for anything. I got that. I know. Okay, see, I should be switching my I should be switching my glasses right now, but I don't want to wreck my eyes again. I'll have to switch them for the QFNs though. I'm not going to do that without. Oh, come on, flip. Come on, you mongrel. Sorry. Okay, so it's now USB and QFN. I think that's all. Oh, the buttons. Need some buttons, USBs, and QFNs, and we're done. Yay! I think Ash meant you're helping a lot of viewers by sharing your experience and educating them, as well as giving them something to practice with. Thanks, Maxine R&D. That's a nice way of. I know. He's just kidding around. It's fine. I know. It's okay. That's just my humor at the moment. So the Neoden 7 is supposed to be able to place 0201s. So, not that I ever want to do that, but for me now it's about being able to paste them, right? Consistently paste them. Anyway. One of my plans for TinyPICO is to flash a large number of LEDs very quickly using some hand-tuned assembler to get the fastest possible flashing. Ooh! That sounds interesting. And we'll get to see that on video. I was surprised last week and they released a new one this week. So typical. Can you return them and swap them for the new ones, Johnny? I'm a bit underwhelmed by the new one, I have to say. Like, it might be a more efficient processor, but in a lot of the specs, it's actually worse, or only as good, which is a bit frustrating. Look what I've got! Zoom out, move the board out of the way. I've got a whole new box of QFNs. SAMD 21, 18A. But I need to finish the ones that are in here first. I don't even know how many are left in here. I didn't notice it before. As clear as I did now. Did I got where? Where did I go? Where did I get? Sorry. Nice of... Oh, I've still got a few more here. This is the trays they come in. So, I need 4. But I bought myself another 50. Because I didn't want to run out again. And because I've got a lot of reflow masters to build, apparently. There's a lot of people on the wait list, but of course that never always translates to sales. But I'm planning on releasing another 20 of them over the next little while. You wanted to do a preview of the Raspberry Pi as well, James, or you just wanted one? I'm glad there's a new Raspberry Pi out, because that means I might be able to buy the 3B Pluses cheaper. Because I'm quite happy using the 3B Plus. There's nothing I need the 4. Terrible. Actually, so I'm going to go a bit closer. I need to do this with my head over it. Changing my glasses, but I'm sorry, this is going to be mostly off camera. I think, unless I can find a way of doing it on camera. But I need to be over the top of these to get them aligned. See if I can do one of them. We'll see how we go. I'll do it not. How does that look? Is that pretty good? I can't see with my glasses. I'll fix them in a second. I much prefer to be over the top when I'm doing them. You've got a little bit of leeway. How does that look? Let me take my glasses off. No, this one's not so good. I think just this one I need to tweak. Yeah, a little bit. Okay. Maybe this one. I mean, I'd normally do this under my microscope, so... Okay, are all the parts on? He's gonna do double checking. I'm always over the top. Very funny, Michael. So I've got all the parts. I think I've got all the parts. I think we're good to go. Finally. Longest build ever. I think that happened last time as well. Into the oven we go. And we're cooking. And while we're cooking, I'm going to put some of these things away again. Yeah, USB. Okay, that's crystals and so many transistors. Okay, it's all away. It's all away and we're reflowing. Yay! Now, what's happening with the chat? Ooh, not that one. This one. And my cold drink. Awesome. And daylight. Yay! I've not even got a haircut. I'm so in need of a haircut. I'm getting one tomorrow. So, any other questions about it all? I mean, I feel like I'm giving away all my AMA, all my good AMA content, my juicy content. So I'm just cleaning my bench. It's a bit dirty. Straight onto the floor. That's what a vacuum cleaner's for. Get that out ready. The Crow is back. I am the Crow. That's a really good movie, by the way, The Crow. Middle name is still secret, ready for the AMA. My middle name. Don't you all know my middle name? Why is that so bright? On my face. It's, yeah, I'm never revealing my middle name. That's my secret identity. Vacuum cleaner, what's that? I had to. I mentioned that, yeah, you came on later. I mentioned that I had someone came and visited me yesterday morning. And there is, my workspace was such a mess. It was just, I hated coming in here. It was that messy. So I spent a few hours tidying it up. And I did some vacuuming. Not the best vacuum I've ever done. I'm going to feel quite good when I vacuum my pick and place machine. There are hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of tiny little 0402 parts all over the place. Loose parts everywhere. The first pick and play was opposite of your back at the wall. Where is it now? No, it's the same place. It's, oops, no. It's there. Same place it always was. In that corner. For sharing taking us on your journey. I learned many things already without too much risk of losing sleep. Thanks. Oh, I don't know if anyone's learning anything. I mean, hearing what I do doesn't necessarily. I'm not sure there's any good teaching there. Look, it's been great. Would I change anything? Well, I mean, being able to have planned a bit better, like being able to know the quantities I would have done. Would allowed me. I would have made some different decisions. I definitely would have invested in a much bigger pick and place machine. But like I wouldn't, I don't regret anything. I don't regret the hours I've worked. I don't regret the, And I want to continue not regretting. And so one of the things that I don't want to regret is missing out on the opportunity of having my stuff in retail. Like, I don't want to regret that, because I know I will. Like, I can kill myself for a month or 2 months, and then I can take a break, and that will be behind me, and I'll be okay. It's like, you can go for no sleep for a few days, and then you can sleep. But if I miss out the opportunity, I can never go back. Like, I can't ever get that back again. So, and I've never had an issue with doing hard work in my life, ever. So, if that's what it's going to take, good or bad, then that's what it's going to take. Like, a little hard work never hurt anyone, and there's no free rides in life, or not in my life. So, if I want something, I gotta do it. I know you guys are always listening, but listening, like as I'm saying, listening, yes, but I'm not sure how much there is to learn. Hello, Richard. As long as you're learning, enjoying what you're doing, it's all worth it. Right, well, I'm definitely not enjoying the experience. Sorry about the beeping. I've actually made it louder, because often if the pick and place machine's going, and then I've got maybe music headphones on because of to drown out the pick and place, I need to be that loud enough that I can hear it. Sounds like you've already made the decision. Yeah, well, I have made the decision. It's how I'm going to do it. I've made the decision that I want to do it, right? But if I can't work out how, I'm going to have to say no. Like, it's as simple as that. There's no doubt that I want to do it. I'm learning that I'd never do what you're doing. Right. Sure, there's that. Look, it's not for everyone. Manufacturing is not for everyone. It's much more fun designing and prototyping than it is manufacturing. Like, I'll be dead honest with you. Yay, I've got a pick and place machine and all this stuff, but at the end of the day, manufacturing it sucks. Like, it's repetitive, monotonous, frustrating work that doesn't get better. And one person it's tough, right? But, I think many of you here know me well enough now to know that I'm determined. Like, I'll find ways to improve things. I'll invent things to help me do it better. Like, I'll sort a lot of this stuff out. How loud is the P&P relative to the Prusa? About 100 times louder or more. It's really loud. The pick and place machine is just full on loud. Yeah, and I don't get a lot of echo in here. Like, the sound in here is pretty good, but it's just loud. Would love to work on my stuff full time. Income not there yet. Right. Well, the income's not there for me either. Like, what I want to do is not be selling high volume, low margin stuff. Like, that's not a good business proposition. That's just what I'm doing right now because of the opportunity. Going forward in terms of building my business, I want to be, I want to find more niche type products that I can sell that have got more margin in them, that are, I don't have to mass produce. I don't know what those things are yet, though. I'm still trying to work it out. So taking into account the nature of sound. Azzy, I don't know how much louder it is, just considerably more. I haven't measured it. Oh, I didn't change my camera. The pick and place is considerably louder than the Prusa. Is that lighting or is that off? 1 second. Right, that's just lighting. It's weird, it freaks me out. Like, if you look at this QFN right here, it looks like it's sitting on the side, because you can see the pads here, but you can't see here. It's just the lighting. It's actually sitting in the middle. Determined is my middle name. No, it's actually not, but it should be my first name. Unreasonably determined is what I am. I am unreasonable in my on how far I will go to do what I want to do. That looks okay. What do you think? It's not very straight. Here you go, I'll straighten it for you. For those people that don't like the warped angle. Truth is not that many projects have people making decent quantities unless the author does it themselves. Yeah, well, I mean, this electronics isn't really a quantities game. Not for small people, small startups. Yeah, and I don't know, just... I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I don't know what I want to do. That's an ugly placed cap just there. I mean, it's on. Just doesn't look very nice. I can fix that. I'll rework a couple of these things just to improve where they are. I'm just checking that there's no tombstoning. Everything seems to have reflowed nicely. Cool. You probably talked about it, but what kind of games did you develop in the past? Why did you leave that job? Hello, Agim. I developed all sorts of stuff, from mobile to console. Mobile, desktop, and console. RPGs and action and arcade games and all sorts of stuff. Puzzles and tower defense and all sorts of things. But why did I leave it? Because it just wasn't any fun anymore. It's making games now is not about trying to entertain people. It's about trying to get them to click on something and spend money or do something. Like, it's just really hard. The cost of making games has gone up. And the amount of games being made is just... There's too many out there, and opportunities to actually make money off it is just really hard. And then the investment's huge, and I just wasn't enjoying it at all. Hello, David. You're still live. I expected the stream would be over by the time I got home. Yeah, well, it's only been 2 hours-ish. Yeah, it took me a long time to just build that. A long time. But I got there. All my games were built in Unity, so in C# with a bit of C++ for plugin stuff. But otherwise, yeah. I mean, game engines are still written in C++, but hardware's fast enough now that you don't need to be going that low level for a lot of stuff. I mean, obviously, high-end console stuff, yes, but not even desktop stuff anymore. Yay for Unity, kind of. I've been with Unity since the very start. The first version of Unity I had was version 1.2. Back when it was just David, Joe, David, Joe, Nick, Aris, and I think 2 other people. Like, yeah. Met David Helgeson way back. Yes, it's you know, it's very different. Unity's very different now. Very different company, very different focus and direction, and that's okay. But I'm definitely any other kind of... Have I done any other kind of development? Well, I've always... Yeah, before games, I mean, I did a lot of web type stuff, and I've done application development before, but I'm just not really a fan of... I'd rather do hardware than software these days, or do software for my hardware. Nothing against software, but I like the challenge of hardware. So I think this is good. I'm just going to touch up a few things under the microscope later. As in just move them. Oh, I don't really need to. I'm pretty sure these are going to work, but I'm not going to know unless I plug them into my Atmel Ice, and that's on the machine just there, and not plugged in right now. So, Rick and Morty's funny. You should definitely watch it. It's funny. Yeah. Okay, so there we go. That's a lot of news I gave you guys today. I have 77 more TinyPICOs to build. And I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to knock them out today if I can. I just want them done. I'm out of the card inserts. I need to go to get more of those printed. And I need to work out how I'm going to pack them all. I don't know how I'm going to pack everything. That's going to be a nice challenge. And I don't know what it's going to cost me to send them yet. So that's going to be a bit of a freak out. I know it's going to be a lot. I just don't know how much. And yeah, then I need to build another one of these things. Oh, it's all connected up. My test jig. Okay, well, I think use a thicker stock. Do you have to have Atmel Ice to upload the bootloader? Is there a way to do this with a simpler? Apparently there are other ways to do it, but I use Atmel Ice. There are some other bits of hardware that you can kind of manipulate to do it. It depends what bootloader you're going to put on there. Apparently one of the Arduino Zeros has the capability of becoming a bootloader burner, but you can only install the Arduino Zero bootloader with it, I believe, onto SAMD. Atmel Ice is just nice and easy. And it also gives me the ability to program SAMDs outside of just putting an Arduino bootloader on there. Oh, use a thicker stock for your card inserts. No, why do I want a thicker stock? Thicker stock is more expensive. And what do we gain for a thicker stock? It's 200 GSM, it's still pretty good. It's a card. It also makes them heavier, which cost them more money to ship. I have to ship a few thousand of them, Adam. Like all of my, except for like the side-by-side shield and the proto shield don't have cards, but all the other shields have cards in them. Plus the TinyPICOs. So that's like, 1,800, 1,700 cards I need to ship overseas. I don't want to use thicker stock. You're typing on your phone. So everybody, meet Adam. Adam, meet everybody. Adam has a YouTube channel, but really just to showcase some stuff he's working on. But open a new window. Adam is working on a wicked audio shield for the TinyPICO. And I keep thinking you look like you do in your avatar. So this is Adam's channel. He's got 2 subscribers. I'm not even subscribed. I am now. But check out his teensy custom board that he built. He built an audio board kind of thing, music audio board. And he's making one for the TinyPICO. And it's very cool. I don't know if he wants subs, so don't, like, if you feel free to sub or don't sub to his channel. But yes, it looks very interesting what he's making. Oh, 5. I've got 5 subs. Let's see that sub counter go up. Hopefully he'll be posting... Oh, 9! Hopefully he'll be posting some information about what he's making on there. He sent me some board layout images this morning. Looks very cool. And yeah, I can't wait to... So we're going to be releasing it as open source, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Adam. And also going to be selling the boards made on Tindy. And they're not like my audio board. They're much more advanced than my audio board with a headphone jack and... they're a bigger board. They're not a little shield. I shouldn't call it a shield. I don't know what I'm going to call it. It's bigger. The TinyPICO plugs into it. Like, it's a bigger board. Something like what Brian makes. But it's got some really full-on audio hardware on there. Wow, lots of people subbed. What are we up to now? 15! There you go. Do you want to say anything else about it, Adam? I think Adam's disappeared. He's on his phone. Okay, well, he might pop in and say some more about it. Yeah, but looking forward to that. Okay, I think Yaz will get that. I don't know who that is. That could be a courier. That could be my DigiKey order. That would be awesome if that's my paste. It'd be really nice if I get to use my new paste today. Teensy64? Sounds better to make a sub to the channel. Same channel as me. Yeah, I've got 143 channels. Hang on. I've subbed to. And I'm sure there's people I'm missing. And I don't even get to watch a quarter of what I want to watch, or nothing these days. This is all my subs. If I'm missing anyone here, I apologise. It's going to make me look bad. For those that don't know who Ian is, you should all check out Ian's channel. Ian, he builds his own hardware, builds and sells hardware. And he, it was Ian that inspired me to get an ultrasonic cleaner. He did a video on his one. And did BitLooney got his pin plea? No, not yet. I don't believe so. No. Don't see my channel. Does Johnny have a channel? Okay, I'm going to have to go. Oh, yeah, there's James. James on there. Who have I got? I'm just going to keep scrolling. I don't even watch what I've got on here at the moment. It's just crazy. Really crazy. It's a lot of channels. You've got 35k subs. Who is Johnny? Okay, everyone, let's go find out who Johnny is. Go to channel. $35k subs! Holy moly. Who is Johnny? And where are all your videos? You haven't posted a video in a year. You only got 8 videos and 35,000 subs. Whoa. How does that work? You got a Volterra 1? No way. Really? Yeah, 4.3 million views. Is that actually your Volterra 1? Oh, he's Adam. Okay, Adam should have some info in the next week or so. It's an audio carrier board with I2C DAC and mic with SD card, 3.7 watt amp and switching headphone jack. Yay, that's awesome. Wow. As soon as I saw the Volterra, I really wanted one. But just... Any good? Oh, you bought it on the Kickstarter? Yeah, I don't know. I've seen one in operation in China. They were made out of... what's it called? That incubator. Where I went, that I can't remember. I'll think about it soon. I'll remember soon. Anyway. You bought a half price. Nice. Yeah, look, they're pretty cool, but I'm not sure they can do TinyPICO level stuff anymore. Going to attempt MP3 decoding with I2C DAC on my laser DAC board. Cool. Wow, okay, cool. I need to... So you're going to make more content? Johnny? You're going to make more videos? What type of stuff are you working on now? Which one has tagged himself? Convenient to lay down solder on a PCB. Sure, but it uses their special solder, right? It's that silver stuff? Or can you put any solder paste through it? It has to use their silver solder something, right? I believe. And what precision can it do? Like, can it go down to, like, yeah, what size stuff? We'll do some Sambi stuff on the Volterra. Cool. Could I solve my pasting of my SOT 883s with a Volterra? That'd be interesting. Oh, 0402. Okay. Do 0402. So not smaller. Can't do 0201. Okay, so I can't do those pads. There you go. Anyway. I was going to run out and buy a Volterra. For those that don't know what a Volterra is, it's an all-in-one system that you can etch, you can build your PCB, and then you can solder paste with it, and then you can reflow with it. It's pretty cool. You have some... No? X2 son? No? Hello, Sylvain. No Exxon 2. X2 son, whatever. I've got DFN. Oh, what's my LDO? XDFN. XDFN 4 for my LDO, and I was using SOT 883s, but now I'm going to move to these instead for my own sanity. In the future, I'll have affordable complete assembly lines. Okay, IB Griffin, not sure. Oh, is that X2 Son, is it? Okay. There's so many names for all the different parts. Okay, but I missed a timeout. Yeah, just near the assembling part as well, which is the killer. Okay, well, I'm going to wait. Oh, Michael's signing off. I'm going to see if that was my courier. If it is, I'll show you what I got. Otherwise, I'm going to call it a day. But hold on 1 second. Oh, bummer. It wasn't the courier, it was the gas man, meter man to come read the meter. Okay, so that's it then. I am going to sign out. I'm going to build the last bunch of TinyPICOs. I'm going to test these. And I'll be listing some more Reflow Masters probably today or tomorrow, maybe tomorrow on Tindy, for those of you that have been waiting. Yeah, no visits from the kids and yesterday, but thank you for saying hi to them. Thanks for listening to my chat dilemma today. Hopefully next time you see me I'll have a haircut. But yeah, thank you all for... Did you want to show us something at the end? What am I showing you at the end? There's nothing to... Did I want to show you... Did I say I was going to show you something? I was going to show you the paste, or was I going to show you this panel? Was it the panel I was going to show you? Did we speak about showing the panel? Maybe it was the panel. This panel that I haven't pulled apart. So this panel, I know that it's going to have issues. I just know. I know it's underpasted. And you can't really tell like this. But I'm pretty sure I'm only going to be able to salvage maybe... I reckon 4 or 5 boards off this. Which really sucks and disappoints me, especially because I'm running low on parts. On some of these parts, like my CP2904s. Can I salvage them? Maybe. I don't know. But, yeah, until you look under the microscope, you can't really see what the real issues are. But anyway, that's what a panel looks like, and that's... I've come to hate the look of these things at the moment, but that's just because I'm tired. Good luck with production and with packing and sending. Bye, Maxint. Came up with the rubbish punchline. Yes, James did come up with the rubbish punchline. Go on, tell it, James. Does anyone have a punchline for the last stream that we didn't do the punchline for? Groan. The punchline. Come on, James, come on, everyone pick a punchline. 500 TinyPICOs and a ram walk into a bar. And the barman asks, which revision are you? No. Was that funny? That wasn't funny. Ash. Come on, James, you gonna do it? Oh, there it is. I'll serve your mates. I'll serve you, but your mates are legless. Yes. There you go. That was it. That was the punchline. Okay, bye everyone. Thank you all for joining. boring. Sorry, Johnny. Johnny says I'm boring. That's okay. Thank you all for joining. And the barman says, sorry, no goats allowed. 2 people walk into a bar and says, pick a seat. Right, we've gone off tangent there, Charles, I think, a little bit. Anyway, thank you all. It's been fun. I'll see you all in next week's stream. Probably no video in between. Sorry, we'll see how we go. But I'm sure I'll have news for next week. News. Oh, goats, rams. I get it. Right. That's funny. Bye. Yep. See ya.